Good morning, miners. I'm Braden.
And I'm Tyler, and this is Miner Morning TV.
Today is Tuesday, May 8th, 2018.
Today's schedule is periods 1, 3, brunch, 4, 5, 6, and 2, with period 6 determining your lunch.
Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Put your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey miners, want to participate in the most epic brunch time activity of the school year? Sign up to participate in the Great Race this week with your team teacher. Sign-ups are due Friday, May 11th. The Great Race is during an extended brunch on May 18th. Here's just a tip.
You all are invited to another incredible evening of instrumental and choral music, featuring the outstanding members of the Placerita String Orchestra and impressive singers of this year's choir. Don't miss out. The orchestra and choir are amazing this year. Come join us at the annual spring concert this Wednesday night at the Hart Auditorium at 7 p.m. Admission is free.
Library news. Students, all library books are due in 7 days. All checked out library books are due on Tuesday, 5:15, no exceptions. So finish reading your books and get them turned in. If you want to take an AR test in the library today, you may do so after school.
Attention all Safe School ambassadors. We will be holding our end of the year SSA celebration this Thursday during brunch in Tanner Hall. Please do not forget to attend. We will be passing out 8th grade awards, enjoying some treats, and wrapping up another wonderful year. SSA quote of the month from Christopher Reeve, aka Superman. Once you choose hope, anything is possible.
Every day at Placerita is a holiday. Today is National Teacher Day.
And now over to Mr. Barrios for field trip dismissal.
Hey, good morning, 7th grade miners. We are very excited to be going to the California Science Center with all of you and to be able to embark on a great journey, one which will be able to experience lots of different science exhibitions and also a fabulous King Tut exhibition as well. That will be fantastic for your growth in history and to be able to see in person some of what you have been studying in your ancient civilizations classes this year. Some reminders for us as we are going on this field trip. I want each of us to remember that it is you, the students, that make Placerita Junior High School what it is. And so whether we are here on campus or whether we are ambassadors on a field trip like today, I want all of you to remember and be reminded that you are the ones who send the message as to who we are as a school and representing Placerita for the excellent school that it is. So some other reminders. You are going to be dismissed from your first period classes to the buses. You'll be walking with your teachers and also with the parent chaperones that are with us today. when we arrive at the California Science Center, we will be in groups of 10. So 10 of you will be assigned to either a teacher or to a parent chaperone. But please also be reminded that we'll be able to be joining groups together and experiencing and touring the Science Center with other groups of students too. And then later in the day, probably at around 12:30, we will all come together and we will be eating lunch in a nearby park. And then at around 1 o'clock is when we will get back on the buses and come back to school. So it should be a great day, and there'll be a certain time for each group to go to the King Tut exhibition and to experience that piece. Teachers, I want for all of us right now, if you have any students who are not attending on the field trip, please go ahead and take attendance for those students, and then those students can be dismissed to Tanner Hall for those instructions. 8 buses that are here with us. I'm going to start announcing buses to be departing. So, if you are in Miss Blevins and Miss Fernandez class, please go out to the Dalby Drive gates, and you are going to get on the first bus. That's going to be Bus A. Also, if you are in Miss Reed's class, you can go out to the Dalby gates. You are going to get on the second bus, Bus B. And students, please remember that every adult that is with us today, whether it is in the classroom, on the bus, or at the Science Center, remember that every adult that is with us, if they ask you to do something or they give you directions, please go ahead and follow through with those directions. Even if it's someone that you might not know or be familiar with, just remember that they are someone who was responsible for you at Placerita and on our field trip. And if you have any questions, you can always ask a teacher, or you can ask Mr. Turner and myself, who will also be on the field trip too. If you are in rooms 502 and 604, you can start walking out to the Dalby gates and get on the 3rd and 4th buses. Those are going to be buses C and D. And also, if you are in room 501, go ahead and also exit your classroom and start walking out to Dalby Drive and get on bus number 4, Bus D. So some other things to keep in mind, again, when we are there, make sure that you are staying in your group, and make sure that you are able to see either the teacher or the parent chaperone that is assigned to you. And it would be good for you to have a partner that you can also be keeping in touch with, just to make sure that we are all staying together and we are all touring together. And as a group, when we are ready to move on from one exhibit to the other, if you're wanting to spend more time on that, make sure that you let your teacher or chaperone know, but also make sure that we are moving together as a group as we are walking through the Science Center or through the King Tut exhibit. If you are in rooms 602 and 801 and 701, please start walking to the Dalby gates. You are going to be on buses 5 and 6. We're going to call those buses E and F. And I had this really great idea of being able to be receiving updates from Joe through the radio as to when buses were arriving. Unfortunately, here in the studio, the radio reception is not all that great, and so that plan isn't going as well as I thought. So I know that before we started the Minor Morning announcements, there were 8 buses that had arrived, and I think probably by now, maybe the final 3 have also arrived. So we'll probably just start having you go out there, but I might get a text message that says that there's confirmation that those other buses have arrived. If you are in room 36, you are going to go out to the, it's going to be the 7th bus, bus G. So in room 36, go ahead and start walking to the Dalby gates, and you are going to go to bus G. That's going to be our 7th bus. So some other things for us to remember: when we arrive to the California Science Center, Mr. Turner and I will have tickets for all of you to start passing out. So we'll pass those out to either the teacher or the chaperone that is responsible for your group of 10. Now, the tickets are specific to the time in which we are able to go to the King Tut exhibit. So some of you might be going to the King Tut exhibit at 10:30. Others of you might be going at 11 o'clock. Some of you might be going at 11:30, and some of us might be going at 12. So that'll be the first thing that we do when we arrive, is to hand out those tickets and to remind each of you what time is your King Tut exhibit time. And then from there, you'll be able to go in to the Science Center. The Science Center opens at 10 o'clock, so hopefully we'll be able to arrive there just in time for the opening. If you are in the gym, so that is Miss Burrell and Miss Tate. So Miss Burrell and Miss Tate's classes, you can start heading out to the Dalby gates and get on buses H and I. That's going to be buses 8 and 9. And then finally, if you are in rooms 902 and 1001, so those are the teachers in there are Mr. Haynes and Miss Stewart. You may take your students out to Dalby Drive and start loading the bus. That will be bus J. That will be our 10th bus. And then lastly, if you are in room 104, Miss Calvert, you may take your students out to Dalby and load up on bus K. That's going to be our 11th bus. And that's going to conclude our dismissal announcements. I will see each of you at the Science Center. Have a great day, guys.